Hey guys, so I needed to do a little purge this morning. I had a bullshit evening again last night. My kids were involved. I was stuck having to clean up somebody else's mess again. And I know people are always like, oh, it's not your job to clean up this other person's mess. But you know what? They're in my kid's life, and that's just who I am. I never give up hope on people, and if I can help, I do help, and it gets me in a... Not that it gets me in trouble, it's other people's judgments on why I'm doing why I help people that get me in trouble, because people internalize shit and they twist it and they make it different than what it is. And regardless of whether this person wants me or not or anything else like that, they're in my children's lives, and I'm always going to hope that they're going to try and eventually do the right thing. So, to explain using tarot cards, so probably only tarot readers would understand this, but this is my life. And I look at this as a spiritual journey for me. But the problem with this is, especially in this deck, if you look at this card, is there any room for anybody else to walk this path with me that's not going to get shredded by a bunch of swords? As it is, I have to walk with two swords myself because it's always going to be something, right? I also deal with this. Now, I call this the player card usually, especially like when you're dealing with guys and whatnot, when you're doing readings for women, because this is about someone who receives tons of offers, and you have to decide whether you're going to take these offers or not. And most people will drink from every cup that they're offered from, regardless of what's in it. So, this is my life. Tons of offers. Welcome with swords. These are the people that I get to deal with. Mostly immature energies. These young, immature, jealous energies. You know, you got the romantic side of it, which can quickly turn into immature swords at any moment. These, when their offers are not reciprocated, turn into these two. Authoritative, bossy, pushy, angry, vengeful type people that, you know, don't care. And these two like to offer a lot of shit, and they talk a lot of shit. And these kind of energies come at me all the time with all the wonderful things that they're going to do for me. And they are always have wonderful things that they're going to do for me. But they're shit talkers that never come to fruition. I never get whatever it is they're offering me. Oh, they take credit for it. Oh, they surely do. Oh, they'll plan. They'll plan and they'll promise and they'll plan and they'll promise, and they'll feel so good about themselves for planning this and for even thinking of doing these wonderful things. But it never comes to fruition. There's always an excuse. There's always a reason. Something always comes up that they couldn't do it. And then if I get upset about the continuing cycle and why I don't get excited when they tell me these wonderful plans, they turn into this. Which turns me into this. Then I'm a bitch. Then I'm the bad guy for being disappointed. For being disappointed yet again, because we're in the same cycle over and 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 over again. I give out a dash of hope, and I tell them that I believe in them, and I tell them that I believe that they can change, and I inspire them to change, and then they make all the promises, and then they don't, and then they get pissed off and bossy, and then I end up having to be like this, which leads everybody like this. And all I want is this. I just want to follow my own guides, my own intuition, and my own stars. And it is just abundantly clear that if I want any of this, that I have to navigate this minefield of assholes like this. So in my reading the other night when Aries said that I have a lot of men in my life, I do. And it's completely platonic on my part with all of them. And the problem is, that's not what they want, and they can't let any of it go. And it always cycles back around to it. And it's always the same thing. It's always they're going to do all these wonderful things. It's always taking the kids out. It's always all this for the kids, and it's the kids are number one in my life, and the kids are this, and the kids are that, and they use my kids against me all the time because they know that I'm not going to stop anyone who wants to love on my kids. I will let love my kids. And especially people who helped raise them, they're in my kids' lives. They're contracted with my kids. They're here to teach my kids something. And unfortunately, I have to learn what I need to learn from them too. And that's the problem, really, with being an Aries. And, because we know what it's like to fuck up. We fuck up a lot, Aries. Fire signs in general, we're passionate people, so we tend to get involved in this a lot because we're passionate about people and we want to help people, and it hurts us when we see, you see her facing away from the people fighting in the background? That gets old. Do you have any idea how old that gets? Do you have any idea of any time I'm in a relationship, if I talk to a guy for more than 5 minutes, I have to deal with fucking, oh, they want you. Oh, they just want you. They just da-da-da-da-da, blah, 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 blah. And it just turns into this thing, and I've never cheated on a person a day in my fucking life. But I get treated like a slut all the time. Why? Because I'm pretty? That's not fair. It's not fair. You can't blame people because other people want them. And you can't expect someone who's nice to be mean to people when it's not in their nature to be mean to people. I mean, yeah, I can be mean, but you have to piss me off a lot to get to this point, or I have to be in a really dark place to be stuck at this point. So, to any of the guys that watch this, and you're just watching it because you think I'm cute and pretty and you think that I'm going to reciprocate, not. There's a reason I said I don't want anybody else in my life. There's a reason I'm being celibate for 2019. And that's because I am listening to my guides, and I'm listening to what it is that I'm supposed to be doing for me, and I am building a life for my kids because I'm tired of being let down by people who promise me things and never come through. So I need to establish my own life, my own way for my kids, so that way I don't have to rely on anybody else anymore. And I hope that any women watching this that are going through this fucking bullshit with me, with men, or guys that are going through this bullshit with females, I hope you wise up, and I hope you do the same. Because if there's not a bigger message that I'm pushing for 2019, it's being independent, it's taking care of yourself, and it's taking responsibility for yourself and your responsibilities. I can't sit around and be mad that I'm the only person in my children's life willing to sacrifice anything for them, regardless of how bad I want something for myself. Because I'm the only person in their world willing to do that for them. Alright? So that's my vent for this morning. I had to go make pancakes for my kids now. They should be up any minute. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. I really do. Blessed be.